Hello everyone, Andy here, coming to you from the Indicator Store. Last week, I came to you with a video, our first video of a new series we're starting called the Did You Know series. And we'll have another installment of that later in the week. But at the end of that Did You Know inaugural video, I shared with you guys a little bit about the RAPTOR, a new fully automated trading systems template powered by Markers Plus. And it is just doing an incredible job harnessing these volatile markets. And I wanted to come to you today and give you an opportunity to live a week in the life of the RAPTOR. So that's what we're going to do today. We're just going to let you experience a week of trading with the RAPTOR. Last week, all of the trades from last week, we're going to do a replay mode and run it at really fast speed. And I'll do some talking, but I'll just kind of let you guys watch the different trades that it executed to let you get a little bit familiar with the RAPTOR. Make sure you're always really aware and fully understand all the elements of the risk disclosure when we're dealing with hypothetical and simulated results, as we are in this case today, because we're doing a replay. It's really important to understand all the dynamics of that risk disclosure. So yeah, I got a lot of response from that video of people excited about what the RAPTOR represented. And one of the cool things about the RAPTOR, well, you know what? Why don't we dive right in, because we'll have plenty of time where things are a little slow that I can talk to you. So let's bring the charts right up here. And what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and fire up our replay. Right now we're on Monday, the 22nd. You see down here, Monday the 22nd. Actually, let me grab my performance or my presentation pointer real quick so that if I do want to highlight anything, I can do that. There we go. And I'm going to get this going right away because, it takes a while. So I'm going to run it as fast as it can go at 500 times. And right now I have the RAPTOR set to begin trading at 8 a.m. and to stop trading, I believe, at 7 p.m. perhaps. So the RAPTOR just jumped in there and grabbed its first trade. Pretty cool. Rather than take a lot of time and try to explain anything in advance, I thought I'd just kind of get the recording going. You can watch some trades happening as I'll talk more about different realities and explain some things and talk about the RAPTOR, because it'll take us a little while to get through 5 days. See, we just generated another trade. Right, this strategy is designed, or it's not designed, but I'm implementing a 3-contract strategy, and I'll talk to you about the flexibility. There's a lot of different ways that you could do it, from 1 contract all the way up to 3. And we're getting a handful of trades right in a row here. This is fairly rare, but I think they were all wins at various levels. Oh, nuts. Let me pause this. Pause the recording. I'll be right back. Actually, I don't need to pause the recording. I need to pause. I want to pause the playback. And what I want to address is the daily profit level is set to a lower level than I want it to be set from something I was doing before. So this will be a cool time to look inside of Markers Plus. Okay, so this is inside of Markers Plus, and some of the things that we have the ability to control so easily are we can have an automated system turn off automatically, when it gets to certain profit targets and stops. And I want to increase this. Let's set the buy side at 4,500. And since we are running a 3-lot, I don't think we need it to be this high, but I'm going to set it. Let's set it at minus 1,200. I don't think that we need it that high, but let me think for a second. Yeah, it should be good. Okay, so we'll come back probably and take a peek at some of the other internal pretty awesome stuff we can do with Markers Plus. Here's the timing windows that we want it to trade. But I don't know that this cut us short on this one because we were kind of at the end of the day here. So I don't think we missed out on anything. I'm starting the playback back up. Oh, what I want to do here is I'll come back at you guys. I'm going to pause the recording whenever we get to where our waiting for time window pops up. I'm going to pause the recording just so that the recording's only 15 or 20 minutes long and not 50 minutes long. And I'll be right back at you once the chart moves until 7 a.m. tomorrow or 8 a.m. tomorrow morning when we want to start trading again. Okay, so I'll be back with you shortly. I thought I'd come back a little early just to talk to you about a few things before the trading starts today. So we were up 2,100, I think, yesterday on Monday's trading with 3 contracts. I think a 2-contract strategy is a great way to use the Raptor. You can do it with 1 contract, but the great thing about a 2-contract strategy is it really smooths the equity curve. If you're going to do if you only want to trade a 1 lot, then I would encourage, a profit target somewhere between 45 and 70 ticks, and that's going to produce really good profit and be really nice, but it's going to be just a little bit more up and down because if you have a smaller profit target in there with it, so that like a 25 tick target, for example, like we have here, so that it catches those times that the market only moves a small bit, and then you get a net win on that instead of a net loss, if you only have 1 contract. So we're right into it here already. And at 500 times, things move pretty quick. But I have a trailing stop in. So, you'll see us get into some trades. Luckily, a pretty low. That was an example of a full loss that just right there. But that doesn't happen all that often. That was a really nice big win. The full losses don't happen all that often because we have the Raptor trail its stop once it gets a small amount, not too much into the profit. So a lot of these trades that go really quickly, even though they don't get a profit target like this one, it trailed its stop to a very small loss. And that's one of the ways the Raptor's able to control its risk. That was a perfect example. On contracts, it only lost $105 on that trade. So it lost about $35 a trade or a contract. So we're up to 2,100 on Tuesday. Let's see if we can stretch those gains anymore. The Raptor has done outstanding all month, but the neat thing is it ramped up. Okay, so the same settings that we created that were doing well earlier in the month actually took root this week and were even better. So every week has been good, but this week was even better, and it's kind of neat to see that. That bodes well for the potential and the possibility that we could have sustainability for a while. A lot of that does have to do with market conditions. Of course, they're always shifting, they're always changing. So we'll see, and I will shoot you guys out an update later in the week, let you know, how the Raptor is handling this week. But I thought I'd, give you the opportunity to really get a good feel for it by being able to watch it trade last week. So I'm going to pause the recording here just so that we keep it a little bit shorter, and I'll be back to you when we get to 8 o'clock in the morning. All right, I just came back on. We're a little bit before 8 o'clock. I set it up to trade at 8 a.m., but this would have been a great trade earlier. The the Raptor really can and maybe does its best work if you let it trade 24/7. A lot of people don't like to do that. They want to trade more human hours. So that's kind of why I'm showing it set up with more human hours, if you will. But with the type of volatility that we've been having recently, there are some pretty big moves that can happen in the wee hours of the morning. So it's not a bad idea to have it turned on. So there's an example. We got profit target one hit and filled, and the other two took a small loss, but that's a net win. If you were only trading one contract, you'd have a small loss. So that's what I'm talking about, smoothing out your equity curve. So we ended the day up 2,600 on Tuesday, I believe. And now we're starting the day really solidly here on Wednesday. The Raptor is exceptionally versatile, as I mentioned. And that's a really great thing because market conditions are always changing. And, for a system to remain viable, it has to be able to be adjusted. The good news is since the volatility began around the 4th and 5th of October, and then kicked into high gear the 10th and 11th, and then volatility's been really all right. So I set a limit of 4,500, and we just hit 4,900. So it stopped trading. So there's almost a $5,000 day. So if it's in the midst of a trade, it finishes that trade. It doesn't so we put a $4,500 max gain. It doesn't cut the trade right when it gets to 4,500. It just doesn't allow another trade to initiate after that. So that's why our gain is actually bigger than the limit we set. And that's also true for the loss side, of course. So over $2,000 Monday, over $2,000 Tuesday, and over almost $5,000 on Wednesday. So pretty amazing. And you see, it's not like we've really optimized this, because look, we're leaving a whole lot on the table here. I left the system very robust. It's not at all over optimized. I mean, you could have, if I wanted to really dazzle big numbers, I could have optimized this thing and it would have produced $8,000 or $9,000 today. You can see we didn't do that. This is real life, life and live type trading realities. One of the things that I hang my hat on when it comes to system development, system trading, automated system development is, I leave things pretty robust. I do not over optimize at all. That's one of the number one things that can be a system killer. So a lot of the times when people get my systems, they're like, holy crap, Andy, you said the results were this, but I can actually get these results, which are way better than what I told them, because they go ahead and they work with it and they optimize it up. And, that's each person's own prerogative, but I want the systems to be, to as much as possible to remain in their robust form, because it gives them a lot more stability and longevity. So both of these trades, if we weren't in the black time window blackout, they would have been probably only a target 1 win on the first one, and that would have been a target 1 and 2 win on the second one. So you'll also, the Raptor could be set up to take trades in other locations also. It's set up right now. The way that it's set up right now is the way that has been best during this volatility. During a lower volatility time, it would be set up in a different way to be able to harness different types of moves. And that's all inside of the same system. which is really, really cool. Okay, so we did take a couple of losses in there. We jumped out to a pretty nice lead, and then kind of gave some of it back. So see what happens here. Currently up $405. Like these are great trades here, but didn't quite qualify for the current setup. So we're up 1265, nearing the end of the day. Still gonna maybe grab another win here. This pause you see is, there we go, 2165, and we're close to our timing window now. And timing window is hit. I'm going to pause the recording just to save a couple of minutes. All right, started you guys back up here. We're coming back up on, this is Friday. So it's been a great week, and I'm sincerely interested to see how we do the Raptor trades this week. If the volatility remains high, which I believe that it will, conceptually, it doesn't mean we can't have a slower day here and there, but based on the macroeconomic picture of what's happening, I think volatility is here to stay for quite a while. So, I think the Raptors going to continue to perform very well. A couple of questions that I got, I'll just take an opportunity to answer here. The Raptor has been basically the setup for the Raptor that's producing these results plays for 2 weeks. So I designed and developed the Raptor at the very beginning of October, and all of last and all of last week, the Raptor has been in its current form, and it has traded in real time in the markets. Not only using just the reports. So, and the results that it got in real time, basically the same results we're seeing here in replay, which is kind of nice. So we're underwater a little bit here. This is a little bit more active of a trading day, and we're kind of back and forth across being profitable and not on the day. So we'll see how this one ends up. And there it is. It actually ended up at basically a break-even day, actually a small losing day when you consider commissions. So let's go ahead and take a look at the performance report we'll generate. So yeah, there were 24 trades on Friday there, so that's a little bit heavy. The rest of the Raptor can easily only take 1, 2, 3, 4 trades on a lot of days where the volatility is not as extreme. But we're in such volatile times, and it's handling that well, which is great. But Friday, is just kind of back and forth. So let's just run a little math real quick. 24 trades times 3 contracts is 72 times $4. So that's a little short of $300. So this is about a $275 losing day, really, when you take commissions into account. But then when you look at the week's totals, you kind of forgive that a little bit. This gaudy 3.26 profit factor is not, the profit factor for the system over the month is about just short of 2. So it ramped up. This was a really good week. But 2 is amazing. Anything above 1.4 is very tradable. So, a 1.95 profit factor is really strong. And for the month, our win percentage is around 52%, I think, and we're up almost at 60%. So this week, but that's a neat thing, guys. So you never know what the future is. We don't know how things are going to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on this week. However, when a system is in the groove, things like happened this past week happened. So the system was in place, settings secure and everything, not last week, but the week before. And it did good the week before, but then it did amazing this week. So with the same systems, without any major alterations at all, the results actually improved. So sometimes systems like this they can possibly fall off the edge. They can be great, and then all of a sudden they can explode and do terrible. But that's not usually how it happens. I mean, it can happen that way, but it doesn't usually. Usually what happens is it starts to just trail off. It's just not as good. And then the next week might be not as good. And you realize, okay, either I have to adjust and change some things, or, we might be slipping out of viability. Well, so far, we're going in the opposite direction, which is neat, which hopefully means the RAPTOR's going to remain, in a really robust and viable state for a while, and maybe, for as long as we maintain some of these really volatile conditions. That having been said, the RAPTOR was designed with incredible versatility. So if and when things do change, and they always do, we can adjust. We can shift where the entry points of the RAPTOR to conform to what the new transition of the market may be. It has that all built into it. So you don't have to go out and buy another system. We can just adjust and morph the system we have to fit the new market conditions. So that's a pretty cool and powerful thing. So I'm not sure how long this video is at this point, a little longer than I wanted it probably, but I wanted you guys to see the RAPTOR in action. And don't be shy, shoot me an email, Andy at the indicator store. Shoot, where is there we go. Andy at the indicator store.com. And don't forget about this risk disclosure. Let me see if I can get to a screen. This is the wrong. Shoot, I wanted to get to a screen with my email on it, but that's the wrong. I forgot. I don't think oh yeah, right there. So Andy at theindicatorstore.com. That's how you get in touch. Guys, we are doing a webinar. Should have led with this. Nuts. We're doing a webinar Tuesday. It's Sunday night right now. We're going to post this video Monday morning. Tuesday the 30th, we're doing a webinar where I'm going to be highlighting some of the new incredibly powerful additions to Markers Plus the Force. I'm also going to be talking about the RAPTOR a little bit as well. But Markers Plus is the most, a non-programmer like me being able to build a system like this from the ground up, it's exciting and it's awesome. And if I can do it, anybody can do it, with a little bit of help. So come see what Markers Plus is all about. You guys will be blown away. It's really cool. So we'll be doing that on Tuesday the 30th. Shoot me an email if you'd like a invitation to that event, or if you have questions about the RAPTOR. And then later in the week, I'll be doing another video, another Did You Know video, to continue that series where we'll look at something else. That's supposed to be kind of like an educational type series, little mini bits of cool information that we hope is valuable. So we'll be pushing out another one of those videos later in the week. Thanks, everyone. Have a great week this week. Take care.